if I traded it all, if I gave it.
Welcome back. My next guest has been with me before. I have with me Carmen Gustin, and she is with Finance of America Mortgage, if I'm saying that right.
You are.
Okay, and you were here a long time ago now, and then you got sick, and I'm sorry that you did, and I'm so happy to see you here. We had to move your segment before. Tell everybody a little bit about you, okay, and what you do, and then we're going to go from there because there's some things that I want to talk about with you because I can relate to you. Go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks for having me, Carol. My name is Carmen Gustin, and I do work for Finance of America Mortgage, and I am a reverse mortgage specialist. I've been a loan officer for 20 years, and the last few years I've been focusing just on the reverse mortgage product and the changes that have taken place. I found it really interesting and something that I hope to use in retirement, and it's kind of a passion of mine to educate people on the product, whether they use it or not.
Right. Again, we're live on Facebook. I gave that to you as a little gift to me because I know you got so sick, and I'm so glad, again, you're here. You're going to talk right into those. These are different mics than the last time you were here. And so I want everybody that's listening out there and watching us, like us, follow us, tell people about it, because this is all information for all of you out there. Reverse mortgages. Now, the reason why I said that I can relate is because, my mom and dad, they've passed now, but they had a reverse mortgage. They did live in California, but I want to talk about it because so many people out there have a negative connotation when it comes to reverse mortgages. It's amazing. And yet, they can work very well.
Absolutely.
It just depends. So go ahead. Let's talk.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm glad you're familiar with the product, but reverse mortgages had a negative connotation for some good reasons. In the past, they weren't FHA insured. Anyone could do them. I've run into financial planners who were putting people into reverse mortgages and then putting them into financial products. Some of the changes that are really nice is that now when someone is interested in a reverse mortgage, they are required to go to counseling from a third party. And I can't know who that person is. They have no relation to me, and that's
a good thing.
That's a government change. It's great because
when did that change? Because they didn't have that before.
That changed, I believe, in 2010 or 2008.
So it's a third party, sort of like a mentorship, so that you know exactly, that you understand everything that's going on.
Absolutely. They go over the pros and cons, the fact that, you don't need to make a payment when you have a reverse mortgage, but that interest is accrued, and at some point it isn't in your loan balance, and they give them other options and want to make sure that everyone's comfortable with the reverse mortgage product. The other big change is it's now an equity line when you get an FHA insured reverse mortgage, so only borrow what you need and only pay interest on what you need. In the past, reverse mortgages would give them $100,000 and then it would be gone.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and if it's sitting there, you're going to want to spend it.
That's the thing, is that you have to be careful with it.
You do,
right? I mean, and it's not the person that has the reverse mortgage is really for the person that took it out, right?
Yes.
Because what happens at the end is that when they pass away, then they has to be paid back.
It does. But that's another change that took place. I run into so many people who say, I don't want a reverse mortgage. I'm not giving the bank my home. You're not giving the bank your home. It's a lien like a normal mortgage, in that if you want to sell it at any time and move, you can. The equity's yours. If you die, the equity belongs to your heirs. But it's also a non-recourse loan now when it's an FHA loan, which means, let's say you take out a reverse mortgage for $200,000 and the market crashes again, and when you die or move, the home is only worth $100,000. You never will owe more than the value of the home when you move or die. So your heirs aren't stuck with that. That's $100,000 difference, nor are you. You can sell the home.
And if you're smart about it and frugal, my dad was frugal. He was, that's why I am. But anyway, if you're smart about it and you don't use it, you don't use all of it,
exactly.
Or at least you have it there, and you know that it's there, and you're careful with it, it can be a very good thing.
Absolutely. You don't know what your healthcare costs are going to be in retirement. Some people get a reverse mortgage now just as an emergency line on their home in case they have expenses, or Or maybe you have a $30,000 mortgage sitting out there and that $500 payment is making a difference in your budget. I did a loan for somebody recently and we paid that off and they got $10,000 for home improvements and he quit a part-time job and it's changed their whole retirement. So it's really flexible for everybody. It's also become a product. In the past, it was kind of for the destitute. Now it's for the financially savvy people because...
I don't think my dad is destitute.
Well, not everybody, but that's the connotation I sometimes get from people. It's a last resort.
Okay.
They kind of picture they picture it as a loan of last resort.
Well, you have to own your home, so, you can't be that destitute, right?
Right. So I don't think we talked last time about how when you have that line of credit on your home, the unused portion of the line, so the money that's sitting there that you aren't using actually grows each month. So your credit line is actually growing irregardless of the value of the home. So financial planners are also liking the product more and more, and it can be a very sophisticated product.
I think it's coming back. It's making a little bit of a comeback,
It is.
I remember that there was a long time, it was so poo-pooed for a long time there, but it's so different now. And the only way, do you do free consultations?
I love to do free consultations, and what makes me hopefully a little bit different is I've told people it's not a good idea. If you're planning to move in a year or two, don't get a reverse mortgage on your home unless you can do it as a no-cost option, and those are available in some cases. But I do free consultations, and I put on classes every now and then. You can look me up online, Carmen Gustin, Reverse Mortgage Specialist on Facebook, and I'll be posting those.
Okay. You can also call in here, and I'll get you connected with her. We're going to leave the lines. I'm going to talk sometimes perfectly today. So our lines are open here, and you can call in, and I'll just get you connected with her if you have questions on this. This is something that, again, it's every person has a different story.
They do, and the best thing is to educate yourself. Like your prior guest said, education is power. Whether you need it or not, at least know about it as an option in retirement. Our investments aren't doing what they did in the 80s. They were earning 16%. People had pensions, were living longer, and the government came in and revamped this program because there's $1 trillion in equity in people over 62 right now, and it's unused, and people aren't aware that they have access to some of that, and it could change their life.
Sure. Now, they reach you by calling you direct, and that is 602-434-1289. And again, we're going to keep our lines open here for everyone to be able to call in. If you want to just get connected with her, you can ask me a little bit about it. I know for us, my dad had 3 kids. We had 3 kids, and it wasn't as bad as everybody thought. Because again, and this was a while ago now.
How long ago do you think that was?
What, that he died?
No,
I know
that he
that.
got out the reverse mortgage.
Oh, I don't know. I think it was 2010. I'm going to say somewhere around there. When my mom passed.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he was alone, and he wasn't quite sure, and you were scared because you're not making as much. Okay, right. When someone passes, by the way, and I don't know if everybody realizes this, but once someone passes, if they're getting Social Security,
you lose that Social Security income.
And so that's what happens is you start to get frightened, and so now he's in California, so it was in California, and so yes, that was for them at that time. He felt it was the best thing, and it certainly didn't affect them, like the negativity that you hear so much, because again,
it allowed him to live in the home and
handled it very well.
Okay.
Again, some people don't, and if you're going to go out and start buying boats and going on trips and you're spending it and thinking, wow, this is great, well, that's a downfall, right?
That's a downfall. With the changes that have taken place, we don't even give you access to, or not.
So they can't even do that now.
Well, they can, but we don't. We give you access to the equity line, but not the entire percentage. The first year, you only get access to a certain percentage of the equity available, and year 2, more of it comes into play.
So they're very careful with you with it.
They want to make sure that this is a loan that's good for the client and that the name is changing out there.
Right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, I want to talk further about this. When you do for your free consultation with people, do you go to them? How does that work?
Carol, I usually go to them, but it's really up to the client. If they'd rather meet at our office, we can do that. But whatever they're comfortable with, and then I go over the pros and cons, do an analysis on their home and their age to see how much they could get and how they'd all the different scenarios available for them.
I tell you, this is something, again, that I think people need to look at. You just never know whether it's right or... and again, you have a different story. Everybody has a different story, and you won't know until you do that free consultation.
Exactly.
So you tell them the Facebook you again so that they know where they can get you.
Yes, you can find me online, Carmen Gustin, Reverse Mortgage Specialist. You can Google me or put me on Facebook and message me, but you'll find me easily on the internet.
And do you also work with people valley-wide?
I work with the entire valley, entire state. I sometimes go to rural, areas not as served, and I'm also licensed in California and Illinois.
So again, we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk further. There's things about this that are very important for people to understand, that it's totally different than it was, and that's the thing. Nothing stays the same, and getting the information is what it's all about. You can call her direct. She always does free consultations. The number is 602-434-1289. She'll either come to you or you can come to her. She makes it real easy. Hold on tight. We'll be right back.
If I traded it all, if I gave it.
Welcome back. I got my earphones on my ear wrong. So welcome back, everyone. And we are talking with Carmen Gustin, and she is a reverse mortgage specialist. You could check her out on the website as Carmen Gustin, Gustin.
Correct.
And that then you just put in reverse mortgage specialist, and you'll find that she's Googleable, and you can check her out there. But listen up here, and everybody listen. Of course, even live on Facebook too with everybody. This information is invaluable for everybody, because you never know when something might need something like this. It could come up. And I think having the information is what's the best, and that's what you're all about. You do seminars as well. Do you do those across the valley, or how do you do those?
I do them across the valley. I try to do them kind of centralized. If you check out my website, I'm going to be doing one hopefully next month, just pie at, I think, Meady's Cafe.
What is the most question that you get asked about? The number one question that everyone asks you about reverse mortgages is?
More than the question, just the comment is, I don't want to do that. I don't want to give away my home. That's the thing I get the most of.
And they're not.
No, you're not giving away your home. It's now FHA. Actually, there are loans out there that aren't FHA insured. If you're going to get a reverse mortgage, make sure it's FHA insured.
Okay, so that's the number one thing,
in my opinion. Yes, make sure it's FHA insured, that you have some protections built in.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so that the equity is yours. And
what are some of the myths out there about them besides that one that they may not know about?
The biggest myths are that your heirs won't inherit the home. And we kind of covered that.
No, that I know is not true, because
that is not true.
we inherited, but you have to still, there's a certain portion that you have to pay back, right?
You have to pay back any interest that has accrued.
Right.
Because it is a mortgage.
And if you're smart about it, again, I'm going to repeat that, if you're smart about it, I mean, it could work very well for you.
Absolutely. It's an equity line, so you use what you want. It is a first lien position, so if you have any outstanding mortgages, those would get paid off in the loan. You never have to make a monthly mortgage payment. If you want to make a monthly mortgage payment, you can, but kind of think of it as an equity line you'd get at a bank, except the equity lines at a bank can be closed at any time. You have to make monthly payments. This loan can never be closed regardless of home values.
Now, let me ask you something, because I'm remembering that before you have to own your house outright, or can you now also maybe not have to own your house? What are the rules of reverse mortgages?
Yeah, that's a good thing you brought up. You do not have to own your home outright. You can have a lien on your home.
Okay.
So that is no problem. We would just pay off that outstanding loan, and the remaining equity that you qualify for is yours. You can get money at closing, or you can leave it there as an equity line. You can also get monthly income. So let's say you think I could use an extra $700 for the next year. We can set that up for you.
That'd be great.
Or we can annuitize it for life. It's going to be a smaller amount, and we annuitize that to, I think, age 110, which, we're not living that long anymore. But it's
anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead. I know
exactly.
what you mean.
But it's flexible, and you can change your mind at any time. So let's say you close on a reverse mortgage next month, and you decide I want to pay off my existing loan and get $5,000. But then in 3 months, you have a grandson graduating and you want to travel somewhere. All you do is call up the servicer, say I need $1,000, and they wire the money to your bank account. You don't give an explanation. Also, the proceeds from this are not taxable, so they don't affect your Medicaid or things like that. Because it's your money.
Right. And when people work with you, like you said, you do these free consultations. It's all about first finding out what their needs are, correct? What do they need to have to, start the process?
We need to know roughly what the home is worth, and I can find that out for people. And then it's a formula based on their age, the interest rate, the zip code where you live, and we have a computer software program that everyone uses in this industry, and you plug all that in, and it gives us out the numbers, and then we can calculate how much they could receive for life, how much they could receive for a term, how much is available the first year, and again, not all the money is available to them the first year. They set aside some of it available for you year
They
two.
do it quite differently than, it was a couple of years ago. It was in 2010, I think, when my dad did it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been making changes all along. They want to make sure that this program stays around for people.
Now, what is the difference when they work with someone like you, okay? Because you see it on television. You'll see, isn't it Henry Winkler, am I right, who talks about it? And coming to someone like you and working with you as opposed to going to someone through someone like, I don't even know the name of the company that he talks about.
That he represents?
Yeah, he represents.
I think the difference is if you can meet with someone, you can meet with in person. I like to meet with my clients and their family. Everyone needs to know what's going on. The children need to know what's going on, their financial planner. Everyone needs to be on the same page. Another difference is we have different investors to choose from. Some of those people they represent one place. And they're usually, the people you talk to are often in a call center, and you do everything via mail. It's not as personalized.
Right.
I work off of referrals, so I have to do the best job I can.
Right, and that is awesome that, and you've been doing this for quite a long time. Again,
Yes.
you're licensed in the entire state, but also you said California. What else?
California and Illinois.
Oh, okay, and Illinois. So, and we are heard around the world, so you never know if somebody's listening that might need that. But again, what I really like about this show is that the people that are listening, it's networking. So, maybe it's you out there, somebody out there that might be dealing with something like this that might need it. Maybe you know someone and you say, I heard this on Networking Arizona, and you might want to check into it. It's different than it was, and I think that's the main thing.
It's different than it was, and I also do education for realtors and financial planners, mainly certified financial planners. Certified financial planners, I guess, are now required to get education on reverse mortgages because clients need to know it doesn't always make sense to, in retirement, taking money out of your assets because that can run out. And if you are getting rid of a mortgage payment or using that home also in conjunction with that, they've found that people end up with more wealth. So it's different in that way. And the other thing that I didn't talk about last time is there's a reverse mortgage purchase program. It's called a home equity conversion mortgage. And that's been really popular because sometimes, or oftentimes, people in retirement may want the single-level home. They might want to live closer to family and friends. They may want to upsize or downsize, get their dream home. And rather than paying cash or getting a conventional mortgage, with the reverse mortgage option, they can end up with more money in their pocket. And it's an option. Also, we don't have as strict a qualification. There's no FICO score requirement.
Okay.
There's no debt ratio requirement.
So, and how old do you have to be?
62 or older.
Okay.
One spouse needs to be 62 or older. The underwriting's a little different. You have to meet a means test, show that you're able to pay your taxes and insurance. You always pay that on your own, and show a willingness to pay.
So, so those are people that are retired. Still?
You can still be working.
Or
you
you
just
can
have
be
to
working.
only 62 or older.
Okay,
is the only requirement.
Okay, and so you can still be working. So you see, there's a lot of different avenues. And on your Facebook, that you have all the information. And when they Google you, do you have a lot of this information up there so that they can see that about you and the things that you that your seminars and the things that you teach?
I do. It's definitely a great idea to Google me or just give me a call, and I'll let you know what I have going on that month. Some people like to talk over the phone. Some people like to meet in person. So.
I think meeting in person too is really good too, because you can meet somebody and know that this is somebody that you can trust and have access to her anytime.
Absolutely.
And that's really important.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when did you say your next seminar is going to be? Next month?
We're going to be having something next month, yes.
Okay, and you could check her out. You can Google her. She's Googleable. So it's Carmen Gustin, Gustin. You can also call her direct. She always does free consultation. She'll either come to you or you can go to her, whatever works for you. That number to call is 602-434-1289. And if you want to and you want to connect with me and I can help you just get connected, or if you have any questions, you can call us here at the station. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. So what would your final words be for today?
My final words for today would be to educate yourself. If you're 62 and older, or your parents are, at least take the time to talk with someone you trust about this product so that you have all of your options. You just don't know if someone's going to need nursing home care or long-term care, or you can live in your home longer if you have the money to do it and have help there.
Reverse mortgages are not what they used to be, and they change all the time, and now it looks like they've made it even better and easier for everyone out there.
I think they have. Yes.
You can check her out at Carmen, Gustin, on the web. You can also call her direct. Her number is 602-434-1289, or call here at 602-277-5369.